The winner of this hole.
Winner gets to write a post on the losers
From the
losers account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Bogeys and B2B. Today we had Egan Montgomery, who's the VP of Marketing and the co-founder at Backstroke, which is a cool AI company based here in Indy. And I feel like we talked about some really cool stuff, like kind of got deep on AI. And also I got a lot of really cool practical tips for basically being a one-man marketing show and how to set up an event from scratch, even if you feel like you're not ready for it, like company stage-wise. And yeah, a lot of really cool stuff out on the course.
Oh.
Need a breakfast ball.
We doing 2?
Yeah, for sure. You had some sweet internships.
Yep.
It looked like, just like memorizing LinkedIn. Then you kind of like worked your way up at Demand Jump, right?
Correct.
You were like marketing,
just fighting and scratching.
Just marketing through and through though.
Yes.
Marketing up. Then High Alpha, which is a venture studio.
Yep.
And so then you're like marketing manager, so you're doing marketing for a bunch of like incubator type things, maybe.
Yeah.
Then you're doing something else at High Alpha, like director of go-to-market.
Yep.
Then co-founder, VP of marketing at Backstroke.
You got it.
My question, what would 15-year-old Egan think or feel about that career path?
15-year-old Egan would love it because 15-year-old Egan's dad was an advertising guy in Chicago.
So this was in the cards all along.
This was in the cards, like marketing. And actually, if you want to go back further, my grandfather was an art director, like New York, like Madison Avenue, Mad Men type stuff.
Sweet.
So, yeah, man, I feel like it was never anything but marketing for me.
Like in high school, like you were like, I'm gonna be a marketer?
Yeah, I think so. I was interested in
I don't feel like anybody says that.
Well, my dad was the kind of guy who, like, we would be watching sports. All right, we grew up in Chicago, so like the Bulls are on.
Yeah.
And he would be like analyzing the commercials during like the breaks. He would stop and pause and like, why did Miller do this? Or like, you know, why did Gillette do it like that?
Wow.
And so we were just always around it. Yeah, but it's funny. That is the truth about me. Like,
yeah,
it was always marketing. I never.
You're like the one NBA player who's like, yeah, my dad was in the NBA, so I knew I'd be in the NBA.
Yes,
Instead
exactly.
Of like, I had no idea.
I'm basically Bronny James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not read it.
Get away with it.
Heck
go.
Yeah.
Go.
Go, 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 go. Oh no.
Man.
Yeah. Okay, you said you had some hot takes. Do you have just generally a marketing hot take right now?
Well, what I get like criticized for the most is I'm just like an eternal AI optimist.
Okay.
Like people say that I don't like pay enough attention to the downside and like the risks of it all. But I just like my brain isn't wired to think like that. Like all I can see is what good is coming out of it. Obviously, like I know there's going to be job displacement. I think there's going to be crazy job creation on the other side of that.
Okay.
But I just like I don't know. I think that my criticism just of the world right now as it relates to kind of AI and the perception is that people are too locked into the way the world is today. And when they think about like AI in that world, it's always like for every give there's a take.
Yeah.
There's no like, you know, if our GDP right now is I don't know, $1 trillion, like nobody can imagine it becoming $2 trillion or $3 trillion and what that would mean for jobs and wealth creation and standard of living. Everybody's just thinking about like how does AI live in a $1 trillion economy,
yeah,
right?
And like change is scary.
100%.
So.
It is scary, and I get it, and not everybody is as wired to some people are more wired to learn and figure things out than other people. And that's where some of the displacement stuff gets scary. Like who can adapt, fast enough where it doesn't cause tons and tons of pain.
Yeah.
But this idea that like our entire world is going to be run by agents and humans are going to be like living in pods connected to some simulator, to me, like it just does not compute.
Yeah.
You totally could run a LinkedIn account and probably make it very, very successful, never producing a word of content, generating every image with AI, like et cetera. So, and I think there's some risk there just in terms of like your ability to think creatively,
have an original thought,
like concretize an idea, like take a blank piece of paper or a blank post window and turn it into something. Like even if you're wrong, there's almost just that like kind of mental gymnasium side of it. You know what, there's no doubt that like it'll be easier to do things.
Everyone has all the same tech, everyone has all the same workflows, everything you're saying. And the difference is like human creativity, who can come up with the idea, and less about who can execute it, maybe. But then the question to me is like, is one person just sort of like as the main idea haver and creative enough?
Yeah.
Right? Is that kind of what you're wondering?
To an extent. I mean, yeah. Or like, here's the other kind of vector is, what does an economy that's 5 times bigger than today's economy look like? How many more entities will be needed to satisfy all of the demand? How many more people will need to be employed by those entities? Even if if a single corporation is smaller, I think that you would kind of by the nature of it need more corporations. So maybe you have fewer companies with 80,000 people, but you have a lot more companies with 1,000 people or with 500 people. Yeah. I could see that. I just like, if AI works, we're gonna create a lot of wealth. We're gonna create a lot of, I think, jobs. You're gonna create a lot of demand for new and existing services. And that's how I want people to think. Not like, oh, well, now you can write software faster, so there's not gonna be any jobs. Or like, oh, now like, one thing I hate is like, how are there gonna be marketers if there's no entry-level content marketing jobs? I'm like, give me a break. Like, if writing content in that way is going to be done by agents anymore, then why would an entry-level marketer need to learn that in the first place? There'll be other fundamental blocking and tackling things to learn about related to managing agents or building AI workflows or stuff that we can't even like conceive of yet. Settle.
Today, what would you say to somebody who's like, I want to get into marketing, I'm in college or something?
I would say, let's go.
You would say, let's go get into marketing. But
Yeah.
like, literally, is it like learn a bunch of stuff about Claude? Or is it like understand how campaigns work still? Like, is that like, what do you think is like, have the foundations of like, here's the basics of what you should know as a marketer if you want to go get a job at a startup or something? Like, has that changed a ton yet?
Fundamental principles of marketing to me are the ability to get attention, the ability to align like customer problems to company solutions, the ability to be creative and be different than what your competition or kind of share of wallet kind of market is after. The interpersonal relationships with your team, with other functional leaders within an organization, the whole relational side of things. And then also I would say master the things that we know cannot be replaced by AI now or in the foreseeable future, which to me is like a lot of the in-person stuff. I would be getting really good at events. I would be getting really good at legit kind of like non-automated business development, networking, partnerships. Like these are things that there's relational capital that's required to make them successful.
Yeah.
There's, you know, I always think like one thing that will always protect humans is liability, or like a throat to choke. Like what are instances in marketing where a partner would want someone to blame something on if it goes wrong, right? Because you can't blame Claude. Like, I mean, you can try, but we've all signed some pretty brutal, you know, terms of service to make sure that they're not liable for pretty much anything.
Like accountability, basically.
Absolutely.
Like be accountable.
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt. Another beauty. Golly.
I used to think prompt engineering and stuff was just kind of like, I don't know what, but I did not give a lot of stake to being good at that. And now I actually do think it matters to be able to like essentially get what you want. It's almost just like being good at querying something else.
Yeah.
Like knowing how to get what you want out of a tool.
You think about it, like the model companies have heavy incentive to get prompt engineering out of the process because it's cumbersome and it leads to varying degrees of output quality, which is, I think you could argue, not good for them. So I would suspect they'll build more and more tools where with more natural language and less prompt engineering, you can get to a similar output. Get up there.
Your service, your product, I think basically helps do a lot of like testing and creative for these customers, right?
Yeah, we build predictive models that understand what retail brand email subscribers, so retail customers, will click on within email and SMS campaigns. And then, so basically, like, we know that, you know, if you're a cycling brand and you're marketing to people in the Pacific Northwest who are men and make X amount of money, they react to content differently than women who live in the Southeast with X education. Mm-hmm. And because now you can use AI to generate email content, you can actually, like, we've always, you know that, or you could test into it. Very, very personalized.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But we're a predictive model company at the end of the day, not a generative content company, because we still rely on all the lab models to generate the content, but we tell it what to generate based on what our model says, and then we push all that to their
So the value you're selling is more like, we can give you really, really accurate insights into what type of content your people need.
Correct.
But then also we can make it for you.
Correct.
Make the content for
you. You're hired.
Yeah, I'm in, man.
I mean, yeah, that's the nature of it. And like, we are, we sell more revenue. We sell better performance in your email, better clicks, better, because that's the thing, you can tune the models to whatever you want. You want more people to open your email? Do you want more people to click on it? Do you want more people to buy? We have customers that optimize the model for revenue, and they may actually see opens and clicks down. But the right,
we're going after people who we know are going to actually
buy.
Basically.
And some people would rather optimize for clicks, and some people say all of it, and you know, but you can get that granular these days if you have the right data set and can manipulate the models in the right way.
Yeah.
Release.
They're working for you.
Get in. Good putt. That's good. That should be good. I'm not in the 0.1% of like marketing AI users. Like, I know people who are deeper in it than me. I think I'm a strong user relative to the average kind of bear. But I have noticed that the closer you are to it, like the more you're working with AI, whether we're talking about building an AI product or whether integrating AI into your own workflows, the closer you are to it, the less concerned you are about the future, because you realize that it takes a ton of work to run these systems productively, that there is still a lot of management of agents, cleaning up of different workflows, tuning, identifying new data sets and integrating those. And yeah, AI can do some of that today, and you could definitely see a world where in a year and 5 years it can do more of that, but it's just like, I've never worked harder in my life.
Really?
And I'll give you another example, not so tied to AI, but so my life right now is awesome, but it's really busy. We just had a kid. We're starting this company. It's 2 years old. We've got all the, ups and downs of a startup. And through all that, because I've been able to extend myself with AI, I trained for a sub 3-hour marathon, and I totally did that as an AI experiment. I downloaded all my Garmin and Strava data and uploaded it into ChatGPT and used it to coach me, and there's no doubt that it helped me run that time.
Wow. I
joined a nonprofit board, and I use a ton of AI in the work that I do for that company, and so it's not to be braggadocious, it's just to say there is this extensibility element of it too. There you are. We can literally we can accomplish more. We can say yes to more things. You can say yes to things that you wouldn't have been able to, a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And all of those things are bringing me happiness. But I literally don't know how I could have done that. Our user conference is a perfect example. We hosted this user conference. We decided we were going to do it when we had 4 customers, which is just sort of comical that you would say we're going to have a user conference when we've got literally 4 users.
Yeah.
And there's no way we pull it off without, we were using AI tools to generate the conference creative, to help us create content, set the agenda, identify activities, the venue search, and we paired that with, we hired an agency who is excellent, and we paired our kind of AI efforts with them, and they had some of their own AI stuff going on, and we pulled something off that was, we were way over our skis on.
Like you're saying, at the stage of your company, you shouldn't have had that good of an event. Basically.
No way. We shouldn't have even tried to do it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it actually worked, and look, there's 100 things that we did better for next year, and there's 100 things that I'll do better, the following. But there's still this, it gives you this kind of confidence that you can go try things that before weren't possible. And we're early innings, and we're just talking about events and joining a board and training for a race. It can go so much farther than that. It's so much more exciting than that. Fall left a little. But content's an interesting world right now because it's so efficient to produce, at least what represents today's content.
Yeah.
And that's why stuff like this is super cool. Nobody is gonna watch this and wonder if it's AI generated.
Yeah.
You know what? That, and that's, I think a lot, we should endeavor sort of to create a lot of our content in that way. And then there'll be stuff that it makes complete sense to create using AI tools, and we should use AI tools to create that.
Supplement some of the other stuff. But it's true. It's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
Time and organization. But I feel I hope if we're just on the optimism train of content, I'm hopeful that basically the good will filter to the top, and movie level video content is going to be for that 30-second ad or whatever. And people are going to really put a lot of time into stuff. And then that's going to hopefully actually perform better. The downside, or the fear is people might love it, but it just performs the same.
Putt. Yes, sir.
That's maybe the first one that went in.
I work at a company that helps brands generate AI content. Right. In a way, we're a predictive model company, but that only makes sense if you're using AI to help you build your email campaigns, because you can't personalize at
Modeling
scale.
for something.
Right. So I'm not morally opposed to AI generated content. It's just about like where, when, and how. And if you've got your picture on a social platform and you're using agents to create a post a day, and it comes out sounding like the other 100 people who are doing the same thing, posting about the same stuff, it's like, I don't really need to see that in my feed. Yeah. But I think like one kind of way to think about, you know, because I think a lot of marketers are thinking about what should I use AI for, okay? Mm-hmm. And like the way that I think about it, or my sort of litmus test is, am I using AI to make something actually more human? Or am I using AI to make something that was bad actually better? Versus, here's something, and no shade, because someone's gonna hear this and they're gonna work at a company like this, but I do not like the application of AI in like sales automation. Like, because SDRing has already gotten so bad. It used to be an awesome channel because it was a person and a targeted email and a very personalized message, and it's actually a super efficient way to go about sales and marketing. Yeah. And then
we talked about this with Jonathan, but like also a great skill to learn.
Totally.
For any career.
Totally.
You know? So
like if I were managing an SDR team right now, I would not, we wouldn't use any AI. We wouldn't use full AI automation. We would use AI for research. We would use AI for, you know, potentially helping us with messaging, positioning, drafting, etc. But there's no way we're turning like an SDR agent loose on our customers. Yeah. And nobody's going to be gold on or measured on a quantity target. I don't care how many messages you send out. In fact, if you can book the same amount of or more meetings with fewer messages, I'd actually like to pay you more money.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and I'm picking on that because that's just an example that I don't like, but we can't take something that used to be superhuman and personal. We already made it bad by automating it with templates and snippets and all that crap. Yeah. And now we're gonna make it even worse by just making it like AI slop cannons that they're all doing the same thing. It's like a quick search on the web, a quick crawl on your LinkedIn profile. They pull up some outdated post. You know, the spacing is always weird when you get those messages. It's like, give me a break. But, you know, and, you know, like I'm biased because, you know, I'm a co-founder at Backstroke, but like email marketing has gotten really bad because it's really batch and blast, and its performance kind of across the market is really, really bad. Can we use AI to actually make email more relevant, like to you? Whereas instead of like 100,000 people getting the exact same message, you're sending 100,000 individual unique messages to 100,000 different people. I just want people to filter it through what can we make better. Like, I don't want you to run your whole blog, you know, on ChatGPT, because I think it's gonna make your blog worse. Like, there's a hybrid version for sure that makes it better. But if now I've got you with your hot takes. You know, here's another example, like, we were able to open our user conference up this year with a promo video that was 100% AI generated. And I worked for like 8 hours on it, and it came out, it was good. I'd give it like a B+. But like, without AI tools, we opened that user conference up with like just the speaker walking on stage and a title slide. So like, we made the experience, I think, better because we leaned into AI tools and we did something that we wouldn't have been able to afford, you know, without it. I think that's where it can be super valuable in marketing, but I don't want to make something worse. Jumped. Sit down. Settle. Here we go.
I think a lot of people would do a user event or something,
Yeah.
but they do exactly your point. They think it's a big task.
It is a big
And
task.
so, yeah, just talk to me about like maybe what would you do if you were starting, or and kind of I'd love to hear the difference of year 1 and year 2, but just how you think about making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, first of all, if you sign up for this and you don't have an event marketer, a dedicated event marketer on your team, I would hire an agency or a contractor to help you pull it off, because there's no way. We worked with an agency based in Indianapolis called Planwell, and they're wonderful. We worked with them both years. But like, you need horsepower, you need like manpower to pull off something like this.
Yeah.
And it's not the type of thing that you wanna, I know we said no cussing, but it's not the type of thing you wanna half-ass.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be all in, like, we're gonna make this really special and memorable and all of these kinds of things. So,
do you feel like you do it 1 year, you're kind of like, we gotta at least like commit to this we're doing this for 5 years?
I think you have to operate as though that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't ROI the way you wanted it to, or if you lose your, I don't know, spirit around the event, like don't do it. Because again, you want it to be just dripping with like passion. You want it to have your fingerprints all over it. You want it to be this thing that anchors your quarter, maybe even anchors your year in terms of like a marketing investment.
Yeah.
If you can fill the room with awesome people, it's hard to miss. Like, because, and that's the feedback that I loved getting the most of, like, oh, this person was there who I knew about and respected, and I got to meet them, or this person was there that I met and now we get coffee once a quarter and we keep in touch.
Yeah.
Or this person hired me after long access. Like, I've heard
That's cool.
those stories and stories like them.
Are you trying to do a certain mix of like customers to prospects or anything like that, or do you just?
I think it's for us. I mean, yes, I think it's stage dependent though. Like, as the first year we did it, like I said, when we called our shot and decided to host the event, we had 4 customers.
Yeah.
I think by the time we hosted it, we had like 15 or something. And our goal was just like, can we get all of them to come? And I think we had like 14. I mean, it was pretty good.
Nice.
And if you were a customer, like, we paid for your travel or paid for a good chunk of your travel.
That's cool.
Anything to kind of get them there. And then the rest we would fill out mostly with prospects.
So if you did that, what was the bet in terms of ROI? Or are you thinking more just like, let's create an awesome experience and long tail value?
I think, for us, ROI was front and center. Year 1, our goal was just 1-to-1 payback. Can we generate the ARR to the equivalent of what we spent? And this past year, it was 2-to-1 was the goal. And we hit, we actually kind of well overperformed the first year, and we're on track to, do that or better again this year. Nice. 1x or 2-to-1 is not going to be your most efficient demand gen campaign, but it is all of the more squishy, touchy-feely stuff that comes out of it that I think makes it, like even just running the event year 1 to year 2, it was so much easier to pull off year 2, even though we pushed it further in terms of attendance and experience, because like once you get a ball rolling downhill, there's momentum. And we've done a lot of work in New York. Like, that's something that I would recommend, especially to early stage marketers. If you can kind of align on a smaller target geo, your dollar just goes a lot further than spreading thin across, the whole US or. Oh, I had it breaking the other way. Beauty! What a putt, man. Oh, hooked it.
What goes into board meetings for you?
I think a lot of people use the board meeting as like, they try and sell the board on how well the company is doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually much more effective and productive to use it as like, okay, I've got hopefully really smart board members. Like, how can they help us work through some stuff?
Yeah.
And so a lot of the other stuff that I prep is more like, here's challenges, here's things I've tried, here's things that I want to try. Like, give me your feedback. What are you seeing at other companies in your portfolio?
On our last hole, my last question, or maybe one of my last questions, is like, I'd say a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people have here, like, I'm going to be a marketer from my 3rd birthday. I knew exactly what I was going to do. But I would say a lot of people are like, I started off in marketing doing similar roles, and then I want to be a VP. Or like, and it feels like it could be cool to go to like a early stage, start a company, be the VP of marketing. You know, you can think about it as you put this in, but like, what does that take? What advice would you give to somebody who's kind of trying to like make a jump to that? Like, how different is that job than I'm a director at a company with like a 20-person marketing team or something?
I think it comes down to 2 things. If you really want to simplify it, which I'm a big simplifier, like, how can we reduce things down, whether we're talking a marketing campaign, a ICP, you know, whatever. And I think it comes down to 2 things. It's accountability, meaning, will you throw yourself, you know, in front of a metric that you own, and the higher up you get, the closer that metric gets to revenue. So
ultimately it becomes.
And I think the sooner you take accountability for revenue in your marketing career, the better off you're going to be. Even if you're a marketing manager and you're writing content, like, you need to be able to draw a line from, how does this work impact the company's revenue? And as you get, like I said, as you get higher, it becomes more about like, okay, my job is to impact this number, revenue and pipeline. And I think everything else is, you know, a leading indicator. It's not necessarily superfluous, but it's not what matters.
It honestly makes it a little more cut and dry, you know?
100%.
Like, just do what's gonna make the business money.
The job of a business is to make money. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the job, and hopefully there's more to it than that, but and marketing has to understand its role, and certainly the marketing leader has to understand their role in all of that. The other thing is just like, Logan, like, so many people are afraid to like make a decision, and it drives me crazy. Like, and I get it, like, making a decision is scary, and you put your name on something, and if it works out, you're a hero, but if it doesn't work out, it's so easy to defer to the next person. It's so easy to hedge every bet. Like, I want the marketer who's willing to make the call, be wrong, admit that they were wrong, and then change and make a different decision. And most organizations are gonna be fine if you're operating like that. Like, a lot of stuff in marketing doesn't work, and a lot of it does, and you have to kind of fight through all that to get to the stuff that drives revenue. But if you can prioritize throwing yourself in the flow of revenue and kind of your accountability in that picture, and being decisive and not being afraid to kind of stick your neck out, I think you'll have a lot of success. And I think that is the difference between the VP and the manager. But the good managers, like, will act like that. Yes. You gotta go. Go a little. Wimpy. Go!
Oh. Oh, that was painful.
I was ready to turn around and wink at the camera. I thought that was in from the second it left the face.
It went.
You know, the good news of that is I think it puts us dead even heading into the 18.
I did it on purpose.
Yep.
The
winner
of this hole.
Winner gets to write a post on the losers
From the
losers account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. That was the shape I wanted to hit, but I don't know if it...
Okay, you asked about the .com thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about people who just kind of like downplay the importance of a website at all?
That's a good question.
I feel like people are like, if SEO is gonna die because of AEO or whatever, there's a logical step where like we're just kind of skip the whole website experience. But I don't.
And everything happens like through agents, basically.
Yeah.
But then how does an agent learn about what you are?
Or the site becomes a little more like for agents and not for people browsing, you know?
Yeah. Man, I admit, I feel like I think about a lot of stuff like this. I haven't really thought about that yet.
Yeah.
I have heard like, you know, maybe your website doesn't matter so much. I just like, I want to encourage marketers to understand what they need each of their artifacts to do. Like, I do feel like there's this kind of just going through the motions thing that happens a lot. Like, well, I need a website because every B2B SaaS company has a website.
Yeah.
Well, I need to have a blog because every B2B SaaS company has a blog. We need to have a team page because like, but what is the purpose of the website or the sales deck or whatever? Insert collateral here. But I do think that people need a place to go. You need a home base. You need something for whether it's search engines or LLMs to read and understand like who you are.
Yeah.
Big hop. Big hop. All right, we got a little short game off.
Uh-oh.
It's good.
Great play. I'm glad it ended up being like a match.
It was a match. That was all the drama. That was good stuff, man.
That was so fun.
Oh, I can't wait to figure out what I'm gonna post.